Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So I think pretty much everybody across the nation understands that California and gun control go hand in hand. I mean, California has more laws on the books than any other state in the country. They have the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is willing to uphold just about every single law they pass because they share the same ideologies. And the left has a supermajority in the state legislature. But even with all of that being said, it still makes you take a step back, and it's still shocking to see all of the new laws that are proposed every single year that would infringe on your Second Amendment rights. And this year is no different. We've already talked about multiple bills, like the new 3-a-month bill, or the bill that would turn California into a permit-to-purchase state that would require training. But this bill that we're going to be talking about today takes that yet another step further. So we're going to be talking about SB 704 and its progress. Let's get to it. Now, real quick before we get started, one of the best ways that you could support this channel and its Second Amendment content is by hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. And the share button also helps us out quite a bit. Share this with people who are like-minded, who might find this information useful. Thumbs ups are always appreciated. That little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out. And interact with the video. That helps quite a bit as well. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about today's topic. So, with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on with SB 704, what it is, what it does, and what's its status. Now, we've touched a little bit in the past about SB 704, but this is basically the bill that would force Californians to go through a licensed FFL in order to conduct a background check to determine, and I'm quoting from the bill here, whether or not you are authorized to acquire a barrel. Yeah, California wants you to go through a background check just to get a barrel. That means paying for the fees, going through the entire process, waiting times, all that stuff, just to get a barrel. Now, if that wasn't a big enough problem on its own, and you were actually to go through the background check to acquire a barrel, California is going to keep your information on file at the DOJ for an indeterminate amount of time. So when you go in to conduct the background check, you have to give them all of your personal identifying information. They want your driver's license, they want all your information, but they also want the information on the barrel that you're getting. They want to know what caliber it is, how long it is. All of that information needs to be on that document that is sent to the DOJ, and they would have that. Now, barrels don't have serial numbers, so there's no way to keep an accurate registry, but California would know at that point that you own this specific barrel and this specific caliber and this length and so forth, and they would have all of that stuff on what I assume will be some type of searchable database, just like other California registries that are completely unconstitutional on top of what they're trying to do here. So this bill, like every other bill that's introduced in the Senate or the Assembly, has to first go through committee, and sometimes they end up failing in committee and we don't hear from them again, which is what we prefer, right? We don't want this to go to the floor for a vote. However, this bill, SB 704, and the other bills that we mentioned earlier, seem to be flying through committee at breakneck speed. And a matter of fact, SB 704 just recently passed through committee with a vote of 5-1. And the reason it went 5-1 is because of that supermajority on the left in the Senate and Assembly. So there was only one Republican on this particular committee, and it had no problem going through. So this is eventually going to make it to the floor for a vote. This is one of those ones that's right up the governor's alley. There's a good chance that he would sign it if it made it to his desk. So we need to watch this one very closely, along with all of the other bills that we mentioned in today's video. So I'm at the point now where I feel like it's absolutely possible that in the future, California could force you to register bags of nails or screws that come in packages larger than 10. And it's really sad too, because I think a lot of the country would be surprised to find out how many people in the state of California actually openly and vigorously support the Second Amendment. The problem with California is it's controlled by the city centers. You have these densely populated city centers that control the overall narrative of the state of California, and everybody else pretty much gets left out. But there are a lot of people there that get affected by these laws, and California adds to them every single year. And you'd be surprised how many of those actually passed. A vast majority of these bills that get introduced end up passing and end up being signed by the governor. We had kind of a good year last year, but this year is not looking so great. Now, if this law were actually to take effect, it would take effect on July 1st of 2026. So a year from this July, essentially. But I wanted to let you guys know about that. I wanted to let you know about the bill. I wanted to let you guys know about the progress of that bill and how it's moving through just as fast as everything else we've been talking about over the past couple months. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, the like button, leave a comment, and you guys have a great day.